Hi guys, and welcome to what might be the most exciting video I've ever filmed to date. Today I'm going to share with you the before, during, and after of our family room renovation. This is what it looked like before. Obviously it needed a lot of work. I just at the time didn't realize how much work it needed to get it to this. When I saw this room, I knew exactly what I wanted. So I absolutely love this space, but it just needs a lot of updating. So today, this is coming out and the floor is gonna get changed. Popcorn ceilings, nobody wants those anymore. So we're gonna fix that, paint it, and then take this out too. It's just a rectangular room. The wall behind me is definitely a focal point because it's a rock wall. This is what it looked like before, and I loved the character that the stones gave, but it just felt a little heavy and I wanted to brighten it up. But I knew I wanted to build an entertainment system that was modern and just looked like it was there the whole time. I used Pinterest and scoured so many different boards to find the design I wanted, and this is what I landed on. And I actually think what we came out with looks really, really similar. I obviously had to make the tweaks I made to fit my space. So to give you some context, we bought the house last July and we started construction before we even moved in. We were like, yes, no dust on the furniture, we're gonna get ahead of this. I came in here even when the former buyers were still living here and packing their things up, and I started taking measurements and this and that way I could draw up what I wanted this wall unit to look like, because that was the big showpiece of the room. So I drew out my plans, I showed our contractor who then cross-checked all my measurements, which is very important unless you're really good at that stuff. This is what I want to happen right here. So I want to do an entire wall to wall, we'll build one, situation that will look like that. And it's funny because I did so much research on wall units and having one custom built and the cost of that. And honestly, for the size of my wall, it was looking around $10,000. I'm like, no way. I can do it for so much less. And in that more minimalistic style I want, that ornate formal built-in is so out, So this is what I wanted. This is what I was going for. I'm like, I can do it for way less. So this room in particular, I remember thinking this is such an easy reno. We're gonna paint the walls. We're going to add this built-in on the wall, and I may or may not paint the rock fireplace wall. So we do demo day. Most exciting and most terrifying day, because this is when you find out if shit is a problem. And on this day, we found out that the walls were not just drywall. It was drywall on top of wallpaper, on top of paneling. Okay, so in removing these, we just found out that this is paint on top, no, this is wallpaper on top of paint on top of paneling. So that's fun. And at that moment, our cost went way up because I had no idea. Drywall is expensive, you guys. It's not just drywall, the actual product, it's the installation. Drywall is so heavy and you don't want to see seams in your drywall. Especially with building out my built-in using drywall, it became a little bit more complex. Also, we had to drywall our entire ceiling because it was popcorn. So we had the choice of scraping the popcorn off or just covering it up. And we chose to cover it up, but there goes the labor of the drywall. Once the drywall was up and you could start to see the outline of the entertainment wall, the big debate of 3 shelves or 4. So I went back and forth for a little while. I ended up going with 3 shelves because I thought that was a bit more minimal and simplistic, and truthfully, it gave me less to decorate and I can put bigger objects on it. So I'm really happy I went with just the 3 shelves. For the actual shelves, we had to have them custom made because this whole wall unit that I just dreamt up was all custom made to fit our space. So we had our wood guy make us pieces of wood that are about 1.5 inches thick, and I have to look up the wood, but I'll put it below. I think it's either silver oak or white maple or something like that. But they're absolutely beautiful. We didn't do any type of poly on them, just something clear to seal them. And that was it, nice and simple. Now for the cabinets under the TV, I thought I really scored on these. I went to a builder's supply store where, builders buy direct and you kind of cut out the middleman. The experience is obviously less glamorous than when you're shopping, but you're getting way better prices. So to give you an idea of the cost, each of these units, and I have 3, cost $250. And they're slow closed doors. They already came, I'm lying, I'm not sure if they came pre-assembled or not. Clean, white, and yeah, done. For the stone on top of the cabinets, I went with a bright white quartz. And I actually waited a long time to get my hands on this because we were searching for a remnant, and we did that to save. We worked with colonial marble and granite, and we told the guys the size we were looking for and the color we wanted. And I tried to simplify it by just going white, so I didn't have any veining in it or anything, and I saved a lot of money that way. I highly recommend if you need quartz or stone, granite, whatever you're looking for, look for a remnant if you can. Now for the hardware on the cabinets, I went with something really clean and simple. I didn't want your eye to be distracted, so I just went with something very modern, and I got them at build.com. I'll link those below as well. For the carpet, I knew I had to go with something high performance and durable for the dog and foot traffic, but I really wanted something that had a pattern and two-tone, so I got both of those things. I went with Stainmaster, and the style is Traditions. This color is SeaShell. I'll also put that down below, but I'm really happy with the carpet so far. My dad came and shampooed it about 6 months after we got it, and I couldn't believe the amount of dirt in it, but it didn't look like it, so that's cool. It hid dirt, it's durable. And then something I'm really happy I did when we got the carpet was I had a runner made out of the same carpet. They just bind the edges, and I put that in the area that gets the most foot traffic from our hallway out to the pool. So glad I did that. So now I want to talk about the rock wall. This wall took me so long to figure out what to do with it because this is what it looked like before, and I was really scared. I knew once I painted it I could never go back, so I didn't want to mess it up, and I researched all of these different techniques from lime wash to just putting regular paint on it. And ultimately I was at work one day and the painter just did it, and I remember just sitting at my desk like freaking out when Antonio sent me a picture because I knew I couldn't go back, but I liked what I saw. And then I got home and I had chosen this idea, and it was really weird. I had him do white on the grout and like a oatmeal tan color on each rock. You guys, I came home, it looked so fake. It was terrible. So anyway, then I was like, shoot, like that's not the route we're gonna go. So I went to Home Depot, I got a million swatches. I came home, I looked close, I looked far, like you know that struggle. So I finally settled on ultra pure white from Behr at Home Depot. Like the plainest of the plain, the whitest of the white, that's what this is. And I couldn't be more happier. So if you're watching this and you have a fireplace that's brick or stone like mine, and you're thinking about doing it, like I highly recommend it. It was life-changing. It's everything I wanted. It's so much more modern and clean and up to date, and it's still beautiful. You still get the texture from the stone. I'm like overall so happy with it. I also entertained the idea of putting drywall on this. I'm so glad I didn't do that. Like no, leave the stone, just paint it. And then same for the inside of this fireplace. In contrast to the white rock, the fireplace stuck out. So I painted it black, which was only a $15 update. I've never worked with heat resistant paint, so I was a little bit worried, but I was like, all right, this is DIY, I think I can handle. I did do it, it was fine, but I will warn you that high heat paint is really lethal, so you probably want to wear a mask, open up all your windows, and just cleaning the prep work is like the longest part. The most rewarding is like putting that on. I feel like I've hit everything in this room except for two things, the hi-hats and the blinds. So the hi-hats, standard hi-hats, we had like the can already. We got the kind that like fit in the can. They're like 25 bucks each. All sounds fine, but like that's another cost we didn't expect because there's 11 lights in here, which is cool because they're like on 4 different switchers, so you can create an atmosphere and a vibe, but no one needs 11 hi-hats, but we just didn't want to close them up. Oh, we also added 2 in the built-ins. That's something I would highly recommend. Lighting in the built-ins is sexy, so I would do that. To give the door an inexpensive update, we added a fresh coat of paint and new hardware. I think the hardware really modernizes the door. And then the window treatments are standard roller shades, but the thing I really like that I think elevates them is the company we went with created a valance, so it hides the roller. My camera battery is dying. I'm seeing it's flashing at me. I hope you guys enjoyed this rundown of how this room came to be. It was a long journey, an expensive journey, but well worth it because now we're really happy with the outcome. And if you guys have any questions about the process, comment below. I would love to help you out and hear what you're going through because I'm still learning on these other renos that we're doing in different parts of the house. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.